Hello there, and welcome back to another reaction video. Got another one from Legion Man, and this one is actually hilarious. So I'm gonna do probably 2 to 3 parts, but we'll see. Alrighty, let's go ahead and play the video.
So they call it stage 5 black fatigue. Stage 5 in it, G. Okay. It's funny because we're having a lot of race conversations today, and it makes a lot of people uncomfortable. It's so funny. But I love these conversations, dude. They're real.
Before we go on, I did already say this on Legion Man channel. Go ahead and check it out. Yeah, this section was just hilarious. It was a 2 hour video, and sometimes he'll put parts of that into his channel. There's another one that's about 15 minutes, but I'm not gonna put it up where I might. Alright, go ahead and play the video.
Let's get into it. There's going to be a lot of butt hurts in the chat. Yeah.
Black fatigue. People are tired of black people. Every time you look up, some Negroes arguing about something.
Well, you know,
Derek Penny, that whole situation.
oh yeah, that was incredible. That was incredible, and it's. I'll be honest. One of the things that's amazing to me, because I am American. I lived here till I was 8, and then I grew up in England, and then I moved all around the world. What's kind of amazing to me about the American consciousness is that they have this huge preposition with racism. And they seem to think this is a racist country. Like, you motherfuckers haven't been anywhere.
Yeah.
Because this is the least racist nation on the planet. You think
That's
America's racist? Let me tell you where's racist. You know the most racist place? Africa.
Oh yeah.
You ever been to Africa? You Hutu, you're Tutu,
Right.
you're Boo-Poo. Like, they're fucking killing each other. They're having genocide. They all look the fucking same. They're pulling out machetes. Look at the Rwandan genocide. I couldn't even tell the two teams.
Right.
They're running around fucking swinging blades. Bro, the whole world's
Them
fucking
niggas
racist.
killing each other over nothing.
Over nothing. Hutu, Tutu, your nose shape.
They
I don't
got
know the
this
fuck.
huge continent. You got all these black people. You got all these resources.
All they do is kill.
And they're probably the poorest continent in the world.
Of course.
because They have no leadership, and that culture is just broken.
100%. And also, it's because Africa's rich that it's poor, which we'll talk about in a second. But America's the least racist place you find on the planet. You think China's not racist? You think Japan's not fucking racist? You think India's not racist with its caste system?
Right.
You think Africa's not racist with its fucking genocides?
Right.
Tell them.
Everywhere, even when I moved to England, the amount of racism I dealt with for being American. Like, I was American, they're like, oh, yank, oh, dickhead, school shooter. But it's like, watch out. But the thing is, I think it's funny.
Yeah.
But these people can't take a fucking joke.
Right.
Like, I love when people, I have the most diverse friend group, and our friendships are based on racism. Like, it's funny.
Right,
It's funny.
right.
Like, I know a white guy
Yeah.
who's loyal.
Before we go on, so I haven't traveled at all. So I don't know what it's like in different countries. But apologies. I'm just a little bit sick at the moment, but yeah. So I didn't know about that America is least racist. But we've seen what's going on, but I don't know about other countries. But in here they'll explain it. But
Right.
Fucking weird. But
Right.
like, we make fun of each other all the time. Like, racism is hilarious amongst a friend group.
Right.
But in America, everyone's so sensitive to it. It's insane, and they believe they live in a racist country. It's like, you need to go basically anywhere else. Go anywhere else, and
That's
you will
so
see.
true. That's so true, dude. Americans they're living in such a bubble, especially when I try to tell Black Americans, be careful going to places like the Balkans. Be careful going to some more backward ass parts of, for example, Eastern Europe, because the leftist progressive mentality isn't baked in there, and the people are extremely tribal. And I try to tell them about the ethnic violence that exists in just the Balkans alone. Like, hey, it's not safe for other Balkans. Like, if you're from Croatia and you go to Belgrade in Serbia or something, they got problems because of the Balkan War. They hate each other. You have people that for millennia have been killing each other that look exactly the same, maybe speak with a slightly different accented dialect, and they're mortal enemies. And they're like, no, bro, they love us over there. And I'm like, yeah, until you step in the wrong, but it's kind of dangerous. Be careful. All I said was be careful. These people don't like outsiders in their countries. I've heard them talking to one another. I know what they're saying to one another when you're not present, right? So nobody's policing any speech or pretending to be nice or a nice smile because you're a foreigner and you're buying their shit or whatever. I know what they're saying behind, closed doors. But the real conversations are like, you're not wanted there. They're not nice to any outsiders. Forget your skin color. Any outsider from even the neighboring country, they don't like you. The Balkanization of the actual Balkans is proof that that's real. And it happens in other countries too. The Balkanization, like in the African, some of the republics there, just look at how they kill each other, just like Tate said. Some of the Asian countries that still have or had violence, but it's the same thing. Historically, look at other places. They don't look too different, guys. That's why I said be careful. But Americans live in such a bubble that they're like, they think the rest of the world is some utopia until you travel and see what real racism is. And until you see like overtly, you're going shopping and the security guard is actively following you around and looking at you dead in the face and they don't give a fuck. Literally like this. Just watching, you're like, damn, bro, what the fuck's this problem? By the time you get back to America, you're like, wow, it's actually really nice here. Racism is nothing like it is overseas. It's in your face. So I'm 100% in agreement with him. See, look at this. My Greek grandpa would shit talk about Romanian illegals. No offense, but no offense taken, dude. My father's side's Greek, so no offense taken. I'm part Greek in that sense. Literally from Sparta. Father's got Spartan DNA. So I'm just being real. I was trying to protect the brothers, and then they turned on me. It's all good.
And what's interesting is that
so I don't know if that's true or not. He has traveled a lot, but I'm kind of curious. If you want to put down comments, what videos I should watch other than this, or something about traveling, let me know, and I'll react to it.
actually the countries like Dubai, which I spent a lot of time in, the UAE, which is a super diverse country with 80% immigration, but the locals, the natives, they're above you. You can't fuck with the Gulf Arab.
That's
in
also
UAE.
true.
You can come and you can visit and you can buy a nice.
This is what I was talking about, two-tier citizenry and why we need it in the United States.
Yeah, I love it. Now, give me the skip button.
This is what I was talking about, two-tier citizenry and why we need it in the United States. I don't want to go on a mean tangent in this episode. Maybe I'll break it down in another one. But I do believe voting is not a right, and it should be a privilege. And that privilege is earned by serving in the military or a civic kind of service. Think volunteering in the Civil Corps to build bridges, nursing, schooling, education, cleaning up the cities, stuff like that. We should absolutely have a mandatory civil or military service for 2 years. Everybody is conscripted, and then you get to vote by joining that if you choose to join. I mean, if it's mandatory, you're forced to anyways, but let's just say we'll start with it being an opt-in, and those that opt in will get the right to vote because they put in. And you get to learn skills for free. You will be housed, you will be fed, you'll get experience, right? And then you can go off to college and specialize in whatever aptitudes you may show during your civil or military training. And that gives us, that we have a stake in the system when we do that. We can mobilize our youth. This is the best system in the world, and we will go back to it one day. I guarantee you, because what we currently have, the conversations right now, since we're talking about like racial dynamics, there are two conversations that are really being had. It's the blood and soil ethnic nationalism on one side, and then you have the civic nationalism on the other. Okay, there's problems with both systems. Ethnic nationalism, or the blood and soil that people are kind of bringing up, like we must have our own people, we must be of the same ethnicity and crowd out everybody else. Well, the problem is, let's just use Europe as an example, like the Balkans. Eventually, even amongst, let's say for Europeans, we're going to start infighting and balkanizing because you're not white enough. You're not European enough. You're not really white. You are something else, mixed with something else. The same way you see tribal warfare in Africa. You're not one of us. Although we look the same. We are the same. We speak the same language for the most part. We even believe in the same God. Almost everything is the same. Historically, our bloodlines are close, but something, you're not real enough, something, your hair this, ethnically you don't come from this area in the mountains here, you're not one of us. This is the problem with ethnic nationalism, is it leads to a fracturing eventually as people seek purity. You understand? This is why it falls on itself. This is why the Balkans have been held back so much. Despite having a ton of people with a ton of potential, it remains far behind Western Europe because the people there treat each other like enemies amongst their neighbors. Yugoslavia is the perfect example of this. Once Yugoslavia broke up, and then they had the Balkan War there, and the violence between Serbs and Croats and Bosniaks and all that shit, they are practically, well, they hate each other. They hate each other more so much that, 100,000 immigrants will come into Bosnia or Serbia, and instead of focusing their sectarian or ethnic violence or whatever nationalism, instead of channeling their nationalism into their home country and getting rid of migrants that are taking the jobs, they have 20% unemployment rate with the youth. Instead of doing that, they will still fight each other. It's better than a Croat. It's better than a Serb. It's better than, are you fucking dumb? You're white. You have the same language. You are the same Slavic people. Yet you were conned by NATO to believe that you're somehow different. You got bombed, Belgrade. They bombed Belgrade. They chopped your country up into pieces. They left you divided in tatters, and now you're 4 or 5 different countries, and you have no bargaining rights. You have no power, and you have no fucking future. Do you know how powerful a state like Yugoslavia would? It could have rivaled Germany. It was as big. It had access to seaports. It had great resources, a ton of people living there population-wise, and it would have been one of the most powerful nations in Europe. Instead, it was divided up into small states, and now each inhabitant, each citizen of each of those states lives in poverty compared to the West. That shit's crazy. So that's where, I guess you could say, the ethnic nationalism leads to. Then you have the civic nationalism, which is like, we all fight for the same system, right? Think Rome. Rome is the perfect example of civic nationalism. The problem with that is it becomes distorted so much that you lose an identity. So, for example, Rome gave citizenship to everybody within the empire out of need because it overextended itself and it needed more warriors, it needed more legions, and it needed more people, more bodies. So why not give people a stake in the system? Well, that degraded the centralized identity of what a Roman citizen was. So America's kind of dealing with this right now because we don't have a strong underpinning of white Anglo-Saxon Protestant culture that founded America, right? That is dissolving. Now there's Black America, Hispanic America, Asian America, you got white America, and even white America. They got liberals, and then you have the conservatives. And so you have many little cultures of these many different sects, and it's leading to the diffusion of the state, which is why we can't govern ourselves properly, because so many people see themselves in such different categories that you can't appease everybody. So everybody's fighting for their piece of the pie. Civic nationalism fails because we gave everybody a carve out. Sure, you can have your Black community. Sure, you can have your Hispanic community. Sure, you can have this. Instead of underpinning all these communities in what the country was founded on, Anglo-Saxon principles, because that's what gave it this power. That's the best system we have. That's the original system it was founded on. Imagine like what Rome was founded on, the Roman principles, right? And so now that we gave everybody carve-outs, we're not doing that anymore. Force everybody into the Anglo-Saxon European identity, but turn it into a civic section. For example, we're all Americans. Black, white, Asian, doesn't matter. But you adhere to European principles, white Anglo-Saxon Christianity, Protestantism. You adhere to all the principles of the founding fathers. There is no more Black culture. There's no more Hispanic culture, Asian culture, any culture besides the American culture for which it was founded on. Now, we will by default use WASPs because that's what was founded upon. And that's the one that gave us all the wealth and the opportunity, which is why everybody moved here. But anybody that comes here now until eternity in the future must assimilate into that underpinning of that culture. That's the hybrid form. Because if you allow the cutouts to happen, just like the Roman Empire, the Germanics, the Goths, the whoever else, the Gauls that came in and then now had citizenship, all start to accumulate power with their own self-interest, and then the empire gradually degrades culturally and then splits, falls apart. So America's degrading culturally because we're not all united under the American identity. We all are creating our own carve-outs for our own communities, and each one of these communities are vying for power. So we cannot effectively govern. This is why I say that we need a hybrid system, and the only system that would work is the one that breeds the nationalism with the civic duty underpinned by the American identity. So it doesn't matter what your skin color is, you got merit. Whether you're black, white, Asian, Hispanic, who cares? If you're willing to lay down your life for this country and you show promise and aptitude and you have great leadership and all of that, then you will be elevated at the halls of power. There is no longer, oh yeah, it's skin color, it's all that shit. No, it's just that man, whether he's black, white, Asian, who cares? I want to be like him. That guy's a primo example of what a man should be. Look at this. This is a great example. He's smart. He's decisive. He's a great leader. He sacrificed his life, blah, 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 for this stuff. Or willing to, blah, blah, blah. He shows an aptitude for whatever. And we look at that as men and we go, damn, that's the ideal to live up to. Any man should be given an opportunity to live up to that ideal, but you can only do it under one culture, one identity. The white American Anglo-Saxon culture, Protestant Christianity, or at least Christian beliefs. That's what the country is founded on, and that's what the identity needs to be. So we don't create carve-outs. Can't have any other culture. If we do that, we'll succeed. If we don't, we won't. I'm telling you. We're already, yeah.
Skip the lawyer.
Damn you.
My insurance paid me right away after my car accident. No hassle, no...
I'm telling you. We're already, yeah. We're headed down, the part where Rome was falling because we have so many cultures in the United States. We can no longer effectively govern. So this is what I mean when I say we need one monolithic identity of America, Americans. And yes, you can look different, but you still operate culturally exactly the same.
House, and you can live there and you can enjoy it.
Okay, I'm going to stop it right here. I didn't want it to be that long. All right. I'm going to split this in probably maybe 2 parts or 3. But thanks for watching, and please leave a like and a subscribe.